Haven't seen that combination of jersey in a while, but it applies tonight. The Holiday's kind of wearing the red these days. Final homestand of Todd Helton's marvelous career continues tonight. Game 3 of 4 between the Rockies and the St. Louis Cardinals. And we welcome you upstairs, everybody, with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Obviously, last night was the Cardinals' night. They ended up winning 10-4, so the series so far one apiece. We have a very nice pitching matchup tonight. Adam Wainwright is going for the St. Louis Cardinals. He almost no-hit the Rockies earlier in the year, and Tyler Chatwood is going for the Rockies.
Yeah, and Adam Wainwright, for me, is one of those guys. 221 and two-thirds innings, just 33 walks. That's the second in the league. Cliff Lee's only walked 32, folks. 296 earned run average. Whenever you lose Carpenter, you lose Garcia, you want that number one guy to step forward and be that guy. He's that guy. He's able to throw all of his pitches for strikes, and he's a horse. When he pitched against the Rockies, Drew mentioned a two-hit shutout. His last start against Seattle, outstanding again, 8 innings. And then against Pittsburgh, against Cincinnati, he gets the call, and when they need a W, he's the one that stops any kind of losing streaks. And on the flip side tonight, the Rockies are going to send out Tyler Chatwood. Chatwood's had 6 days of rest in between every single start, and he's going to go tonight against this Cardinal ball club. He is a double play machine. 17 double plays in 100 innings thrown, at least about 100 innings. He's number one in all of baseball. The interesting thing, 15 here at Coors Field.
He had his problems his last time out. His fastball was moving so much he ended up walking 6, not Tyler Chatwood. So he looks to bounce back tonight against Adam Wainwright and that very formidable Cardinal lineup. And speaking of that lineup, we're going to break it down for you as to why they've been so productive this year. We'll do that next. Rockies last night. Pittsburgh's lost to San Diego. They're up a game on the Pirates. Their season best 25 games north of 500. The Rockies looking for their 70th win of the season. Back upstairs, Drew Goodman, George Frazier. One of the reasons St. Louis has been so dynamic offensively this year is they've put together an unheard of season with runners in scoring position.
Just 328. It probably went up a little bit last night.
It did. It's 329 now.
329. 7 for 18 last night. In the series against the Rockies so far, 391 in this series. I know they scored a lot of runs last night, came up with some bigger base hits. But this is a ball club. You've got guys, and I'll give you an example of this. Pete Cosma's hitting 218. He's struggling at the plate. But when guys get on base, 324. I mean, you put the numbers together. When they need to get a hit, they get a hit.
5 of the top 6 individuals in hitting with runners in scoring position in the National League this year are St. Louis Cardinals. Amazing, since we are into the 3rd week of September. For more on that story, we go downstairs to Mark Stout. Mark?
You know what, Drew? One of those Cardinals is their leadoff hitter, Matt Carpenter. He is having a great season, and he's having a great season hitting with runners in scoring position. In fact, last night, he went 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs with runners in scoring position. Oh, that just raised his average to 415. That's 3rd best in the National League. His teammate Alan Craig is 1st. Freddie Freeman of the Braves is 2nd. Matt Carpenter is having an unheard of season. He's improved his hit total, 101 hits from last year. He's 12 hits away from 200, 1 run scored away from 120. He has 51 doubles. If he gets to 200 hits, 120 runs scored, and his 51 doubles, he'll be one of 19 players to have done that in the game from 1887 to 2007. And Drew, the last guy to do that was a Colorado Rocky by the name of Matt Holliday in 2007. A crazy season for Matt Carpenter at the top of the Cardinals lineup.
Well, crazy season for Matt Carpenter. It's hard to pick a Cardinal MVP. The Cardinal MVP, maybe the league MVP. Yadier Molina in that discussion as well. Yeah, Holliday had a big night last night. Rockies will try to cool them off this evening. Come on back to Coors Field with us. On Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Yeah, there have been some clouds moving in and out of the area ever since batting practice began a few hours ago. Tyler Chatwood taking the hill, and there's Matt Carpenter. Mark Stout was telling you all about how special a season he's put together. Batting .323 with the very high on-base percentage. Starting lineup for the Mike Matheny-led Cardinals will have John Jay in the 2-hole. Matt Holliday, 4 for 4 last night. 24th time in his career he's produced 4 hits in a game. David Freese for Carlos Beltran. Beltran getting a day off. He was 0 for 8 in the series. Yadier Molino bat 5th. Matt Adams, he'll bat 6. Shane Robinson starting in right field. Daniel Descalso's at shortstop. And Adam Wainwright is on the hill. Here's tonight's Farmers Insurance game plan. George, what do you have?
Well, he hit all 4 spots. That's what he needs to do with all 4 of his pitches. He's got to be able to throw for strikes. So you mentioned in the open, 6 walks in the last outing for him. That is not him. And so you see his numbers on the season: 7 and 4, 320 earned run average. 2 things he does you love about Coors Field: he keeps the ball in the ballpark 5th in the least amount of home runs given up per 9 innings. He also gets the double play ball, 1.5 per 9 innings pitched. You'd like to look at the arsenal tonight. The Chatwood fastball is going to average 93. He'll utilize it almost 71% of the time. Curveball, slider, changeup, and he'll need it against this lineup. The only one out, Beltran, taking the night off.
So we are set to go. Tyler Chatwood against Matt Carpenter. And Carpenter rolls the first pitch right to Todd Helton. Chatwood covers. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's always a good start. Tonight's weather report is brought to you by Bluebell Ice Cream. Memories in a cart. 71 degrees, pleasant evening. Partly cloudy. Right now it would be mostly cloudy. Humidity of 44% and not much of a breeze. John Jay will be next to face Tyler Chatwood. Ball 1. And that rides high, 2-0. And that sinks over the outside corner for a strike. So it's 2 balls and a strike. John Jay kind of gets overshadowed by the Matt Hollidays, Yadier Molinas, Carlos Beltrans of the world. Pretty solid player. Just under 270. Hit the ball out of the ballpark every once in a while. Mid-60s in RBIs.
Really covers a lot of ground in the outfield.
He does. And that's line to Rutledge. Almost took his glove off, but Josh makes the catch. 2 outs.
Well, you get a line drive hit like this at you. You don't know if the ball's knuckling. You don't know if the ball's going to dive on you right at the very end. This ball had some backspin, started to carry. So it's all about getting timing on your leap and being able to catch the baseball. You see that on your Mike Shaw Subaru Superboat.
Well, here's Matt Holliday. Last night he hit a 2-run home run into the bullpen in right center field.
Slider out over the middle of the plate. He drove it to right center. Had enough velocity on it and allowed him to take it there. We've seen that many times.
It was the 249th home run of Holliday's career. It's his 8th season of at least 20 home runs. And Tulowitzki is going to throw out his good friend. And a very nice start for Tyler Chatwood. A couple of ground balls and the line drive to Rutledge. Wainwright. And Corey Dickerson will begin things. Corey's gotten better and better with the bat each and every month. Tonight's lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And Walt will have DJ LeMahieu batting second, Tulowitzki third. He's at 313. Michael Kadire leading the league at 331. So 11 for his last 22 at home. Todd Helton will bat next. Then Pacheco behind the plate. Josh Rutledge, Charlie Blackmon, and Tyler Chatwood. One of the interesting things about Adam Wainwright, George, is usually with a guy with a heavy sinker, it's sinker slider. It's sinker curveball more with him.
Well, he got a really good curveball, but better command. I mentioned earlier, just 33 walks and 221 2/3. That's second most with over 200 innings pitched. The fastball 90, 1 miles an hour, curve slider change. That average is 91. He'll throw 88. Some have fastballs at 88. He can go get 93 when he needs to.
And that was well placed by Dickerson. So we don't have to worry about a no-hitter tonight. Last time the Rockies saw Adam Wainwright, he took a no-hitter into the 8th inning at Busch Stadium. That was that wild weekend where on Sunday Jorge De La Rosa almost no-hit the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was a crazy weekend when you started to look at that. You remember Shelby Miller made a great start the day before. Then you got Wainwright came right behind it, and he had command of everything. I mean, he had the fastball working both sides of the plate. A lot of ground ball outs in the ball game. A superb outing for Adam Wainwright.
LeMahieu takes a strike.
He's one of those starting pitchers that really pitches to his defense. And if you look how they set up for this double play ball, they allow their shortstop to play almost straight up and a little bit deeper than they do their second baseman. Going to tell you they're probably going to pitch LeMahieu in and try to get that double play. Now, it doesn't say they won't go away with a pitch. First offering. There's a curveball. It's going to get up in the air. Jay will give chase on it.
Yeah, this ball's hit better than he thought, and it's over his head. Jay misread it. It'll be second and third. Dickerson had to wait because based on the route by the outfielder, it looked like John Jay was going to make somewhat of a routine catch. So it's a double for LeMahieu.
I think the wind played a huge role in this when the ball got up in the air. A high fly ball not hit that well. And I think Jay, when he took off after it, you can see kind of circled the route there. The ball moved an awful lot when it got elevated on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl just out of the reach of Jay. And you got a great opportunity to jump on one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball and Wainwright in the first inning.
You mentioned Wainwright's ability, George, to shorten innings with the ground ball, and he leads the National League in ground ball double plays. Chacin is second. The other thing that he can do is he can get strikeouts when he needs them. He's second in Cardinals history. Listen to this. Second in Cardinals history in strikeouts to the great Bob Gibson.
201 strikeouts and 221 2/3 this year. He's throwing 5 wild pitches, the most on their staff. You got to be alert to that. Corey Dickerson on the breaking ball.
So the right man at the plate, Troy Tulowitzki, with Kadire on deck. Second and third, nobody out in the bottom of the first. The 0-1. And he went breaking ball, and he missed. It's 1-1. Unless it's a planned shake-off, you don't see many pitchers look in at Yadier Molina and say, nah, I don't want that one, I don't want that one.
No, you don't see that at all. You got a veteran guy that knows exactly what he wants to do back there.
And that's a good curveball right at the knees. So it's 1-2 on Tulowitzki. This is where the Cardinals are so good, George. They stay in the middle of the field. They shorten up. It's not a big swing team. It's one of the reasons, talking to Matt Holliday specifically about this, that they do such a good job with runners in scoring position. Rockies are second in the league in RISP. And Troy does it perfectly. Punches a base hit to right. And they're going to go ahead and send LeMahieu, and he's safe. 2-run single by Troy Tulowitzki. And the Rockies have a quick jump on Adam Wainwright.
This year, Adam Wainwright's opposition has hit .315 against him in the first inning. The rest of the way, just .235. And an interesting note, For a guy with a 296 earned run average, you watch Tulowitzki shoot this ball through the right side. The opposition's hit .315 against him with runners in scoring position. Great job by Tulowitzki, though. Good pitch. Went with it right away. That's why it's an all-star versus an all-star. And the all-star at Coors Field, Troy Tulowitzki won the battle and drove in 2.
And it was a great approach by Troy. He goes, if I get into play, I'm going to get an RBI and get my club ahead. He found an opening. This is through the left side. Base hit Michael Kadire. What a start for the Rockies. Single, double, single, single against Adam Wainwright. And for Kadire, that average will inch up a little higher.
Putting distance between him and Johnson. Washington's on top of Atlanta 2-0.
Soak it all in, Todd. You deserve it.
Well, pretty good swing on a pitch right there from Wainwright.
You know, George, I didn't think Todd he didn't have anything to show for it last night, but I thought he swung the bat pretty well. He drove a ball nearly to the wall that Matt Holliday made a terrific catch on in the first inning. He hit a ball very well to right in the fourth, and he had a sharp ground out as well. 0 for 4 for the evening, but they were quality at bats.
278 average against Wainwright in his career.
And this is pulled to first. Adams makes a nice pickup, and they'll turn 2 despite the fact that Kadire went hard naturally into Descalso.
And I'll tell you, scouting reports come out in your advance now because everybody knows Kadire's going to come get you. Look how quick Adams got rid of that baseball. It's a horrible throw. Not sure the foot even stayed on it. But Kadire with a very good hard-nosed slide into second base to try to break that up. But as infielders, you know who comes at the shortstop second baseman on double plays. They understand that. You get the ball to that turn guy as quick as you can.
And here's something, Matt, that Michael Kadire could do, George, that you rarely see.
See, I'm not sure he kept his foot on the bag when that came in on Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, but all he did was went after the feet of the shortstop Descalso to try to prevent the throw from being on line. It's a very good, clean slide.
Here's the thing that he does. He has the ability, which is unusual, to slide on both hips. Most
a lot of guys will slide on the left hip if they're right-handed, on the other hip the other way, but it's one or the other.
And so Kadire, he can get you 7 feet to the right of the bag or 7 feet to the left of the bag, wherever you set up.
I saw that number on Pacheco, his career numbers versus St. Louis, 379. He's never had a hit, one at bat versus Adam Wainwright.
Takes a 2-0 on the corner for a strike. It's 2-1. Tulowitzki at third with 2 outs. The Rockies have plated 2 already. That's outside. It's 3-1. Well, Kadire with the base hit. A little more separation between Chris Johnson now, who's 0 for 2. He's averaging .326. He's actually been passed tonight by Andrew McCutchen, who's 1 for 2 for the Bucks and is at .327. So that's why we kind of have that out of order, but McCutchen's in front of Johnson. Padres, by the way, again leading the Pirates 1-0 in the 7th inning.
Yeah, getting great pitching out of some starters out in San Diego, and so has Clint Hurdle, with the exception of last night. Cincinnati's already on top of Houston 3-0.
Boy, that's a fascinating race in the Central. Pacheco
wow.
with a line drive caught by Matt Adams. That saved a run right there. So the Rockies have Adam Wainwright talking to himself as he marches off the mound in the first. 4 hitters in a row out of the gate got knocks, and the Rockies have a 2-0 lead. Inning. The Rockies defense is brought to you by Excel Energy. We bring you the energy you need so you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. In the outfield, Corey Dickerson, Charlie Blackmon, and Michael Kadire. The infield has DJ LeMahieu again for Nolan Arenado with that sore thumb. Rutledge is at second, Tulowitzki and Helton. Jordan Pacheco's behind the plate. Rosario remains day-to-day with the calf tightness. David Freese takes another strike. It's 0-2.
Regardless how you do it here, if Tyler Chatwood get that 1-2-3 inning, get back in the dugout. 2 soft ground balls and a line drive in the first.
Sliders down low, 1-2 on David Freese. Three for 5, an RBI in the series. 1-2, a jam shot. And Chatwood lobs to first. Here's tonight's injury report. It's brought to you by Connect for Health Colorado. We were mentioning Willeen. And last night he had to leave the game with calf soreness after 1 at bat. And he had to leave the game on Monday late in the game with calf soreness. He's a tough guy. He wants to be in there, but Walt Weiss is going to stay away from him for a day or two. He's had a very good year again offensively, 292 with 21 home runs and an RBI shy of 80. Here's a pretty good catcher in his own right, Yadier Molina. And he swings over the top of a curveball and pulled his head out.
I was looking earlier today, you were talking about Willeen. What he has been able to accomplish with the RBIs was 79, 21 home runs. You go down and you look at Pacheco, who also has caught limited amount of games, but he's caught. Then you go to Torrey Alba, and when you add it all up, Drew, it's 112 RBIs with the catching core and 22 home runs.
How do you like that?
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that works.
I think it really works.
2 outs, nobody on. Matt Adams. Matt Adams, chatted with him around the batting cage today, and he got paid a really nice compliment. Got a base hit, drove the ball to left. He arrives at first base, none other than number 17, as he saddled up next to him to hold him on. Said, I really like your swing. You're short to the ball. And so tonight, around the batting cage, his teammates were ribbing him, saying, because we were chatting and then they were picking up the balls after his round. And so a couple of his teammates said, oh, Helton gives you a compliment. Now you don't have to pick up baseballs anymore, huh?
Yeah. He should have said, yeah, you're right. Go ahead, pick him up.
No, he's too humble for that. This is bounced toward LeMahieu. DJ spins, fires, and gets Matt Adams. You wanted a 1-2-3 inning. Tyler Chatwood delivered. 6 up, 6 set down. Rockies will look to get after Adam Wainwright again. They're up 2-0 already. Rockies up 2-0, bottom third of the order to face Adam Wainwright, who has a career mark of 5-1 against the Rockies with a 1.17 ERA. When Wainwright first came to the big leagues under Tony La Russa and then pitching coach Dave Duncan, they knew what they had, but at the time they didn't need him in the rotation, so he broke into the big leagues working out of the pen. And thus, against the Rockies, this is his 11th appearance, but just his 7th start. His first 4 appearances came as a member of that Cardinals bullpen.
Well, remember when they won a World Series when he's a rookie coming up and he just slammed the door coming out of the bullpen.
Yep. He has special stuff. That overhand curveball for a strike. It's 1-2 on Rutledge.
Great leverage at 6'6". You stand next to him, he looks like 6'7", but big broad shoulders, really repeats everything well. Something Dave Duncan instilled, carried on by Lillquist.
Curveball, and that's fouled off. Rutledge hitting .375 since coming back to the big leagues. They swung the bats a whole lot better in this series so far than they did at Busch, though they did win the final game of that series behind De La Rosa, but they hit only 147 at Busch Stadium in 3 games. They're hitting .300 so far in 2 games and change. Charlie Blackmon on deck. Got to tell you about our umpiring crew tonight. Kerwin Danley's behind the plate. Vic Carapazzo, Bill Miller, and Lance Barksdale. Kerwin Danley's an interesting story. He grew up in Los Angeles, went to Dorsey High School, it's a big high school in LA, was drafted in the 12th round by the Dodgers out of high school, and instead he went to San Diego State, and he was teammates with Tony Gwynn at San Diego State. He was a first-team All-American his senior year, but he went undrafted after his senior year, so he went to umpiring school.
Baseball told him something. Better calling balls and strikes than trying to hit it.
Well, he was good hitting it. He still is 3rd in single season hits at San Diego State with 103. As I said, he was a first-team All-American, but for whatever reason, the scouts didn't see him as pro material, so he moved on to becoming a member of the Blue. Three and 2 on Rutledge. For another instance with Kerwin Danley, who's worked a lot of postseason games, worked an all-star game. Remember when Brad Penny threw that fastball and it was a cross-up with the catcher and hit him right in the mask, knocked him out cold?
Not in the Dodger Stadium. What an at-bat by Rutledge. Holy cow. Wainwright's tried everything. Strike zone is full up with a bunch of dots. Top, high, low, in, out.
This is the 12th pitch of the at-bat. He's going to get an attaboy no matter what happens. Well, Wainwright wins the battle, but that was quite a battle from Josh Rutledge. Tonight's Sideline Report is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat, energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. Let's go downstairs and see Mark Stout again. Mark?
You know what, Drew, you and George were already talking about Wainwright and how good he's been. We want to show you a little bit more about the Wainwright stuff and what he's done to this point in his career. Those 96 wins, he's 4 away from 100 as a Cardinal. Only 15 Cards have done that. 5th lowest ERA among active pitchers. 5 complete games. That's tops in the majors this season. And you see some more numbers about Wainwright. I was actually walking in and somebody had a Wainwright jersey on. And I said, hey, how many career wins does Wainwright have? And he goes, I don't know, 167. So that's a lot of wins, not 167, but 96. He's almost to the 100 to get in that list of Cardinals greats, guys.
It's a special talent.
Well, able to take the breaking ball. A lot of times, most guys with curveballs are just going to throw it over the middle of the plate. he can work at both corners of the plate plus the middle. He's got very good command of it.
0-2 on Blackman, and he gets him to chase a curveball in the dirt, down and in. 2 straight strikeouts. Now to bring up Tyler Chatwood. Cardinals defense is brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choices that fit your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Holidays and left. He had a great game defensively last night and offensively. John Jay, Shane Robinson giving Carlos Beltran the night off. Freeze, Descalso, Carpenter, and Adams with the incomparable Yadier Molina behind the plate. And first pitch curveball to Chatwood. That's a sign of respect.
How good is Adam Wainwright? You know, you're talking about the wins with 96. Soft one here. Between his legs, didn't stay down on him.
Adams muffs the one hopper.
Yeah, what turned out could have been a pretty easy inning. Turns into, hopefully adds it on a little bit. Let's go back and look at this just real quick. I want to bring this up to you. Most wins since 2009. Gallardo, does that surprise you a little bit with Milwaukee? 71. Clayton Kershaw 70, then Adam Wainwright going to trying to get number 70 tonight with 69. Bronson Arroyo, Lincecum, and Matt Cain.
You look at individually this year, Kershaw's been lights out again. Bronson Arroyo's had a huge year, but Cain, Lincecum does have the no-hitter this season, but Gallardo's really fallen off.
Anytime you get a ball hit on the hands like this, you're going to have a lot of rotation. So when the ball hit, Adams didn't just bury himself in it so he could make a play on the ball. The ball spun under the glove.
Dickerson had a base hit to start that 2-run rally in the first. Rockies had 4 straight hits against Wainwright out of the gate. Dickerson, LeMahieu, Tulowitzki, and Kadire. Tulo has both ribbies. Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000. Online at safelite.com. And sharply hit, but it's at Matt Carpenter, and that ends the inning. Rockies 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Real time. Well, the Rockies were recently in San Diego, and a bunch of folks, led by Jenny and Huey, made their way to SeaWorld. George Pacheco, Charlie Blackmon, Michael Kadire, check out all the fun they had at SeaWorld on the next edition of Rockies Real Time. It's Friday after the game right here on Root Sports. Ominous clouds. No rain so far. Looks like it's clearing in the background. Off to the west. Tyler Chatwood, late getting out to the mound naturally since he was on base. Just now completing his warm-up pitches. He's retired the first 6. Shane Robinson will lead things off for the Cardinals in the 3rd inning. Still 1-0 now in the 8th inning. Padres leading the Pirates. Shane Robinson takes a strike on the outside corner. Talking to some people around the Rockies. This is to LeMahieu. Nicely done because Robinson can run. People in the know felt like for the first time, I know Walt felt this way, the first time that Chatwood got a little violent with his delivery, stuff we saw a little bit more of last year and not this year in his last outing. And tonight, George, he appears to be online.
Well, the whole key is it's not the part of being online, yes, but also with the breaking of the hands or a consistent break about chest high.
Well hit center field by Descalso, and Blackman can't get it. It's a ground rule double. So Descalso with 1 out in the 3rd, the first base runner for the Cardinals.
Get a ball a little bit elevated here, about thigh high on him, and he just drove the baseball. On the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermore, you're going to see it. Got it right out on the square of the bat, and able to drive this ball. Much carried, a lot like the ball hit. It got out that LeMahieu hit on a breaking ball to left center field. I still think there's a little wind here at Coors Field, but that ball was hit more on the line. Chatwood with 6 ground ball outs so far in the game.
And this ball lined by Wainwright, and that is going to one-hop off the top of the wall. In comes Descalso, and Adam Wainwright has made it a 2-1 ball game.
3 RBIs on the year, make that 4 now for Wainwright. So the guy knows how to swing the bat a little bit, an average of 153. Fastball again, big man, upright stance, left the ball in the middle of the plate. When he did, it almost got out of the ballpark, shot over the head of Corey Dickerson.
Back-to-back doubles, and Matt Carpenter up. I guess that batting average with runners in scoring position. The pitcher's got to jump right on board too. Now moves up to 330 or thereabouts. 1-0 on Carpenter. He swung at the first pitch of the ball game and grounded to Todd Helton. The National League leaders in batting average with runners in scoring position. Alan Craig's hurt. He leads. Freddie Freeman is the only non-Cardinal among the top 6. Carpenter is hitting .415 in these situations. That's a strike. Erwin Danley pumps his right arm. It's 1-2.
And some hesitation on calling it a strike. Nice to see Chatwood get a little bit of a move here on a baseball. Does catch the strike zone on the forward strike zone. Watch how the ball moves the full width of the plate. It is a strike.
Pretty quiet hands by Jordan Pacheco. Nicely received.
You know, he doesn't overreact an awful lot. He trusts his hands to catch the baseball.
Carpenter's first in runs, doubles, and hits, and 3rd hitting with runners in scoring position. Tell you what, he's had an unbelievable year. His WAR, wins above replacement, 6.5, and that's going to move the runner to third, and it changes the complexion of the at-bat. See if the Rockies, usually on the plus side, you're not going to pull people in. Well, you got 2 strikes.
And Jordan Pacheco on this ball, it's a fastball that's going to skip off the plate. So you don't have time. It's not in a direction where you could shift down and block. So he tries to backhand it. When he does, it just slid out of the glove. I mean, that's a tough ball because when it hits on the plate, it normally skips and stays down and won't have a high hop to it. And he missed the target by almost 1.5 feet.
Toughest pitch to block is a fastball in the dirt.
Now here's your wild pitches in the National League. The Rockies were the 3rd most at 61.
2-2. The Rockies do bring the infield in, and Carpenter did not go, according to third base umpire Lance Barksdale. So it's 3-2.
Well, another look at this. Obviously, you got to look down this line. That's what they're looking at. He didn't go.
Not even close.
But you check anyway.
Yep. Carpenter, a .458 career hitter against the Rockies. Chatwood needs to make a pitch here.
Check out his stance. Gets really wide, brings it back, sets. He's got his stride to where he wants to land with it. Boy, those hands don't do a whole lot of moving. He does a whole lot of that.
And he just tied it up. It's really amazing. You put guys on base, and they all become Rod Carew. 3 straight hits. The Rockies' once nice 2-0 lead is gone.
76 RBIs for Carpenter on a Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl. You throw it right where you want to, and they still get you. It's disheartening as a pitcher. You make the pitch right where you want it. Next thing you know, you got a runner on first and a tie ball game, and there's still just 1 out. And this is where Tyler Chatwood has been excellent with getting double plays turned, 17 on the year. And I misspoke in the open. 10 of those have come at Coors Field. Doug so politely corrected me. For those of you that watch NCIS, he slapped me in the back of the head and called me Tony.
John Jay at the plate, Matt Holliday on deck.
Now, Jay, that deep drive in center field. I mean, again, it's a bat you got to look out for. They're just really aggressive with guys on base. Really aggressive.
Well, I asked Holliday before the game why he thinks they put up these extraordinary numbers with runners in scoring position, and he said his theory is that they don't think about home runs. It's not like they have this 3-run home run mentality with their club. Holliday's got 20 home runs. That leads of the guys in the lineup, that leads the club right now. He said guys really stay in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Beltran 23 is leading the ball club at 78 RBIs. The guy they really miss, they hope get healthy by the end of the season, is Alan Craig with 13 and 97 RBIs.
He's back in St. Louis rehabbing that foot, and they fully believe they will get him back. Nobody on St. Louis, hitting .236. Runners on base piques their interest. They're hitting .311. Now you put them in scoring position, and it's up to .330. And that's going to drop. 4 straight hits as the Rockies did in the first. The Cardinals are doing in the third. 1 out. Holliday approaching.
Well, you make the pitch again. You made a pretty good pitch here. And you just shatter a bat right in the hands of a hitter, but they're also strong. Playing a little bit of altitude in this too. This is one of the things about it. Make a good pitch, break a bat, and you're in altitude. A lot of times that ball drops in. But everything I've noticed on these last couple of hits, the ball's up. Doesn't have the movement down.
That's what happened to Juan Nicasio, George, last night. We ran a highlight package, and all of the hits he gave up last night were thigh high or belt high.
And center cut. He lived in the middle of the plate. Talked to an awful lot of scouts. This morning at Sam's at the scout breakfast meeting. Missed you again, Goody. Got 7 or 8 of us in there visiting about a little baseball.
Got to do that out on the road, not when I'm home.
I know, a little difficult. You got 3, you got to get ready to go to school.
Well, I kind of tag along.
You dress them all alike and everything.
Well, I tag along in that process. You know who the boss is.
I know. I do it, yes, dear.
One on Matt Holliday. Good job by LeMahieu. Getting the runner at second as opposed to going across the diamond and leaving an extra runner in scoring position. He just has such great baseball smarts.
Well, the reason you don't do that with runners second and third, you want to get that runner coming in here. You keep the force intact. But with the way this team hits with runners in scoring position, you don't want second and third and 2 outs. You want to have, first and third and 2 outs to get the force and allow you this, because this club hits .292 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
David Freese inside.
David Freese at the plate. He has the lowest average with runners in scoring position with 100 at bats at least, 248. He's hitting 4th in the lineup because of what he's done in the past too, even though having a little bit of an off year. Freese 8 home runs, 56 RBIs. That power is still there. Beltran out of the lineup. He takes over at number 4.
Two game. Hits are even now as well at 4. First and third. Slowly hit to third. DJ's got it, and he flips it across to get Freese. Big play by LeMahieu to keep the Rockies even with the Cardinals. 2-2. Two-two game as we go to the bottom of the third inning. LeMahieu, Tulowitzki, and Kadire. Rockies fans, we're going to answer your questions in the 5th inning as we do each and every night. So if you have a question, text Toyota followed by your question. And actually, this is our Taco Bell promotion, so we'll tell you about that as well. If the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to Taco Bell the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. LeMahieu doubled to deep left center his first time against Wainwright.
We're going to keep track of that stat we talked about in the first inning with Adam Wainwright. The opposition 315 in the first, 235 the rest of the way. By the way, I want to add a note to that. We talked about most wins since 2009, and Wainwright was third at 69. That's what's missing. This drive down the right field line. Oh man, Robertson, keep it flying, can he? Duttover made a play on that to get Josh Rutledge. But think about this. He missed all of 2011. All of 2011 with Tommy John. Yet still has 69 wins. Everybody else healthy and pitching and doing well with it. That's DJ LeMahieu with that drive to right.
And Troy Tulowitzki, who punched a base hit through the right side on a 1-2 count to drive in 2 runs in the first inning. That's a called strike on Troy. There's our Toyota Talk promotion. Text Toyota followed by your questions to 720-720. And again, we'll get to that in the 5th inning.
Top of the 9th at Pittsburgh. Now 3-2 Padres. Couple of base hits that put them back on top after the Pirates went ahead 2-1. Melanson not able to hold the lead in the 9th so far. There's still 2 outs and a runner at second.
The whole rally has occurred with 2 outs. Tulowitzki does a lot of his off-season training in Las Vegas. Got another 1-2 count, and Troy's got another base hit. Stayed with that curveball. Troy's 2 for 2 against Wainwright with 1 out. That'll bring up Michael Kadire, who had a base hit in the first inning. Kadire drives his ball high and deep right field. Robinson back at the wall makes the catch.
Uh-oh, Tulo better hurry up. Robinson got a really good arm.
Rockies are getting high quality swings against Adam Wainwright.
Robinson going to go back on this baseball all the way to the wall, makes the catch, spins, and then shows off the arm a little bit when he caught it. Well, the girls are out, the banners are up. Get a hit, Todd.
Outside, ball 1 on Todd. He grounded into a 3-6-1 double play his first time up.
Todd's high school coach, Coach Bales, in town from Tennessee. Saw him this morning outside the favorite diner. He was coming back from breakfast. Drew, I was going at 7. He's coming out. Got up early.
Evidently.
It's kind of neat because Ty Kozlow was with me, who's now working on the pro side, but with the area scout that signed Todd. So he and Coach Bales had a pretty good conversation outside.
Two and two.
Health bobblehead's coming up this Wednesday, September 25th. So make sure you get here and be one of the first 20,000 through the gates. It's all brought to you by King Supers. Buy your tickets today for that last home game on Wednesday, the 25th, and have your opportunity, if you're one of the first 20,000, to get a Todd Helton bobblehead to see him play his last home game. Helton with a 2-2 count, 2 outs to the whiskey at first.
Good curveball. And that ends the inning. Tulowitzki left at first base, tied at 2 as we go to the 4th inning. Rockies and Cardinals. Wednesday night at the ballpark. Tomorrow's an afternoon affair. No television in the series finale and season finale between these two clubs. AT&T trivia question. It reads, 2 players who have played 100+ games at Coors Field have a higher average than Matt Holliday. Can you name them? Yadier Molina is going to lead things off in the 4th inning against Tyler Chatwood. Yadier with a double last night. It was his 40th double of the year. Well, 40 doubles for a catcher.
That's a pretty good pitch by Chatwood, outside corner, right on the knees.
There's only 13 catchers, or this is the only the 13th time. It's not even 13 catchers who've done it. It's only the 13th time a catcher has produced 40 doubles or more in a season. Ivan Rodriguez did it twice. Joe Mauer has done it. And this may be number 41.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Who's had the most doubles by a catcher in a single season?
Bench did it. Brian McCann's done it. Jorge Posada did it twice. Guy you know well, Teddy Simmons did it, George. Lance Parrish. And consider that he's battled knee problems most of the year.
They're selling a Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl, the ball down and away from him. And it's sliced away from Kadire, so it rolls into the corner. Kadire cut it off, but Pujols got to second with 41. National League doubles leaders, St. Louis's Matt Carpenter leads it. The most by a catcher in a single season was Pudge Rodriguez at 47 in 1996.
Now also is a topic of conversation today with Matt Holliday, George, about Yadier Molina. And I said sometimes it looks like he knows what's coming. And asked Matt if he thought that it helps that he's a catcher, that he's so used to thinking with a pitcher, and he said absolutely. He uses right field, right center field so well, but he's able, he goes, it's not guessing, it's just like he has a real good educated thought on what a pitcher may do in a situation. That's why that slider
look
he
at
hit
every
last
pitcher.
night.
Look at every catcher that the ERA of a team, and they're in the playoffs every year, and it's a low earned run average. There's a reason for that. They're great play callers, pitch callers. So when you're out there doing that, and you're facing somebody and he's got 4 pitches, he's in counts, pretty much tell you what's coming. If they're fighting to throw the fastball for a strike, just sit back and wait.
Yeah, and think about the slider he hit last night, George. Pretty good pitch.
It wasn't a bad pitch at all.
And he went down and got it and hit it off the top of the left field wall. He is a sharp guy. 2 balls and a strike on Matt Adams. Matt grew up 15 minutes from Happy Valley and Penn State University in central PA, and they didn't even give him a sniff. Ground ball to second. He does his job. He moves Molina to third. Shane Robinson coming up. Well, we want to pass along our best wishes for a speedy recovery, and we know it's going to be about a year, but Rafael Betancourt, his dad, tweeted out pictures today. He had surgery. Dr. James Andrews performed the surgery on your son when he had Tommy John.
He's done a lot. George. He's pretty good at what he does.
Yeah, he's real good at what he does. And so Rafael, in his hometown of Orlando now, had the surgery earlier today.
And Andrews trains in Pensacola, which is not far away. So you're going to go back for those quick checkups. He has one in Pensacola and he has one in Birmingham. Good block. As a catcher, you can't let it get by you with a runner at third. Unless, of course, it's 30 feet in the air or 40 feet each side of you. You don't have much choice here. Just see that late reaction and confidence that he has to block the baseball. Good job, Pacheco, on a Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mode.
2-0 on Shane Robinson. Molina third after a leadoff double. There's 1 out. Tulowitzki, he's going to hold Yadier and fire to Helton, 2 outs.
Video game that puts you in the owner's suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. Build your stadium and make your decision to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire free today.
Walk Descalso, which makes sense with Wainwright on deck. So you better pitch a little better than Wainwright the second time than you did the first time. He ambushed Tyler with a double to deep left field. Descalso at first, Molina at third, 2 outs, and Adam Wainwright. Wainwright with a base hit to left. He drives in another run, and it's 3-2 Cardinals. Each time he swung at the first pitch.
No hesitation whatsoever on his part. How dare you walk to get to me? Don't you know I was hitting a $156 when I came into this game? Now this bat dies, but it dies with a base hit and an RBI behind it. It shattered all the way up that third base line. He slid it through. Molina comes in to score.
I'll bring up Matt Carpenter, runners at first and second. Carpenter on a 3-2 pitch drove it to right field in the third inning to drive in a run.
3-2 final. San Diego beats Pittsburgh.
They swept, or are they playing tomorrow?
They may be playing tomorrow. I haven't checked.
Well, right now. Tomorrow. Yeah, they play one more tomorrow.
Well, 1 and 3 is not going to work if you're going to stay in the race.
And with the extra wild card, George, and I really like this now, it is far more punitive for the teams not to go to the. It's great you go to the postseason as a wild card, but it's one and done, and it rewards the division winners more so now than in the last few years where there's just a wild card, and a wild card really didn't have an enormous disadvantage other than home field.
You get a good look now at the wild card. You also see the Nationals just 4.5 back. They are losing to Atlanta 4-2.
Carpenter hits it in the air to left. Dickerson makes the catch in front of the warning track. In the inning, Yadier Molina scores the go-ahead run on an Adam Wainwright base hit at 3-2 St. Louis. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a truck, it's an F-150, and it's built Ford tough. By Connect for Health Colorado, when health insurance plans compete, there's only one winner, you. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online, only at southwest.com. Cardinals have taken a 3-2 lead. Rockies had a 2-0 lead. After 1 inning of play, Dinger paying his respects to our Donnie Mills. Donnie is participating in his last game of this season with the Rockies tonight. He's off to do a football package. And Donnie, it's about right. I mean, Dinger and you, and I'm sure Dinger will focus just like you do. That was wrong, but you know what? You don't have a microphone on that headset. All you have are 2 ear flaps. You cannot reply. Nope. Do your job.
The looks tell everything.
That's all right. Donnie's had more airtime in his 40 years behind the camera We used to mix him in nugget opens. Do you know that, on a regular basis? He was in so many opens he had to get a SAG card.
He wants to talk so bad.
Yeah, wow.
he's got lockjaw right now. They won't give him a mic. That's a good thing.
One strike on Pacheco, and you know what happened right there, George? David Freese lost that high hop in the lights for an instant. Watch when he fields this baseball. He has to turn his head away for a second.
Well, you try to anticipate when something happens like this, of your last spot of where you think the ball's coming down. You have lights all around this ballpark, so that's why you're looking at what he's looking at. And you see him duck that head away after he caught the baseball.
Josh Rutledge struck out in a 12-pitch at bat his first time up. There's Stu Cole. Stu wanted me to say hello to his family looking in back in Charlotte tonight. But Dad's going to be home soon. Good man, Stu Cole. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off.
A little bit of excitement in Washington. Freddie Gonzalez got tossed, and Alex Wood got tossed, and then Ugly hit a home run.
Is Ugly above or below the Mendoza line?
You know, I would have to look that up. I haven't looked at the box score.
Dougie's on it. 2-2.
Dougie, are you on it, or you got a lot going on? Fastball away is what they struck him out with last time. This time, not even close fastball for ball 3.
The command of his curveball is really remarkable. 3-2 count. By the way, Dan Uggla hitting 183.
How many home runs does he have?
Strike 3.
I don't know about that. That looked like a cutter. It was 87 miles an hour, and it looked elevated. Top half of the zone, if it caught it, didn't get anywhere near the bottom. That's why Rutledge complaining a little bit. He's got his hands down low to get the upper half of that strike zone. Couldn't pull the trigger on it. Second time he has struck out, but he has seen close to 17 pitches to him.
2 outs, nobody on. Charlie Blackmon at the plate. Charlie, over his last 8 games, hitting .429. He's got 5 multi-hit games among those 8.
Gonna add to it.
Yep, this is going to drop. And if nothing else, it'll get Chatwood to the plate here in the 4th inning. Blackmon diving back in twice.
6 stolen bases. He hadn't been caught. Wainwright
Yeah.
paying a lot of attention to him, but
You cannot get picked off here.
You don't get picked off, but I'm wondering why he's paying so much attention to him too. You got one of the best catch and throw guys sitting behind home plate, throwing out 46% throughout Culberson in the first game here.
But you wouldn't figure to run here with the pitcher up.
That's what I'm saying. Why worry about him at first? Worry about the hitter. That was always, for me, it's a big thought process. Why do you want to run a risk of throwing a ball away when you don't have to and you got a pitcher up? I know he's hit 300. I know it's not your normal hitting pitcher, but it's a pitcher. You throw enough throws to first, you're going to throw one away sooner or later. You shouldn't even factor into what you're trying to accomplish right now for a number of reasons with Molina behind the plate. It's one of the big reasons right there.
There's no way you'd be going here. Chatwood blisters one to center field. The Chatwood shows Wainwright why he's hitting above 300. Back-to-back singles, and here comes Corey Dickerson. Rocky's trying to put something together with 2 outs.
Looking at the pitch too, it looked like a backup cutter. Chatwood just stepped back towards the third base line, got the good wood of the bat on it, and a line drive base hit.
Dickerson singled through the hole on the right side, and then a sharp ground ball to Matt Carpenter. He's had quality swings against Wainwright. Pulled foul past Rene Lachemann. Blackman a soft single with 2 outs, and then Chatwood the line drive to center field. 3-2 St. Louis. Rockies have 2 runs, 7 hits now against Wainwright. They had 9 hits the whole evening yesterday. Wainwright coming in had allowed just 1 run in his previous 15 innings. 1-2 the count. A lot of things to cover here from a hitter's perspective. He's got that great curveball, but well-located fastball in his arsenal also, and he goes fastball up.
See, I just think you go fastball up on Dickerson, you do him a big favor. Got a ball up where he get his hands to it, and that ball's well out of the strike zone with a ball that he can drive into left center field. They're giving him the gap in right center. They're going to pitch away, play away. If the ball's hit in the air, try to run it down.
And got him on the curveball. Well, I think Dickerson's trying to argue Kerwin Danley that he fouled that off. And Walt White's going to go out and ask Kerwin Danley. See if it changes direction.
Well, he has hit him off the bounce this year a few times. I don't think he tipped it though.
The Rockies leave 2 on. 3-2 St. Louis as we go to the 5th. 3-2, and we go downstairs as well to the Rockies dugout. Walt Weiss is joining us right now. Walt, you guys have had quality ABs against Adam Wainwright, and that's difficult to do typically.
Yeah, we did a nice job early. We got to be careful letting this guy settle in, because he's gonna be real tough when he does. But we scratched out a couple early. We got to add on here.
Did you go out and ask Kerwin? Did you know? Have you seen this guy hit lately? He hits it better on the bounce than he does in the air.
Yeah, I told him the only reason why he missed it, took a bad hop. But no, he thought he might have got a piece of it, but no go.
Hey, by the way, because we hadn't talked to you about that one, when he hit that one in Arizona on the bounce, when was the last time, if ever, you've seen that?
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've seen guys hit it on the bounce. I haven't seen him square it up like Corey did.
Yeah, you know what? He's a pretty good cricket player on the side. Walt, thanks, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
You got it.
John Jay takes the first pitch out of the zone. Shows bunt, and that's low. 2-0. Talk about scoreboard watching, Frage, and you know the Cardinals are aware that the Padres came back and won.
They expand that lead a little bit over them. Plus, you start to look Cincinnati. It's a 3-2 ball game in Houston now. That got tightened up after they blew out the Astros the last couple of days.
Magic number for the Cardinals to make the postseason, 2-2 now, is 5 coming into the evening.
Yeah, Matheny's done another great job managing this ball club. The young pitching staff's come up and done a tremendous job when you think about who they've lost.
We talk about guys hitting the ball off the ground. Did John Jay just hit that one off the ground? It's pretty close.
Yeah, I think maybe he did. But either that or a very low pitch. Chatwood's 63rd offering into the plate area. You watch this ball's going to be very close to getting to the ground. It's just right off the end of the bat.
Toyota Talk inning. First question of the night. Why did Betancourt change his mind about not having surgery? Well, in talking to him, he felt like his best chance to pitch again, and he wants to pitch again, was to go ahead and have the surgery as opposed to trying to rehab it. And then if that didn't work, now you're going to have surgery maybe in the spring, and you would be jeopardizing your chance to pitch the following year for a while. And he wanted to have it now and give himself an opportunity to go to spring training in a year and a half. And at that point in time, he'll be around 40. And that would give him the best opportunity to continue his career. It's obviously very late in his career.
Well, no question. I mean, that's the thing about it. If you try to rehab it and get all the way into spring training, much like Jeff Francis, you know, went through the whole process for a long time. Line drive right field. Charlie not going to get there. Kadire will.
Kadire throwing a second. Safe. Tulowitzki looked like he had the baseball before Matt arrived. It was very close.
Yeah, Walt's going to come out and have a conversation too, because he felt like Vic Carapazza. Were you in the position to see this tag and where it was going? You can look right at it. I mean, he's looking right on top of it. Matt Holliday has a lot of famous slides around this ballpark, but Tulowitzki backed away from the tag. Let's watch and see what happens right here. When the hands come in, the ball beat him by a lot. That's why Walt's out.
No, he's
but
safe.
the hand, he's safe. There's no question about it. He is safe.
How can you tell what pitch was thrown? Well, seen a lot of pitches. George used to throw every pitch under the sun.
Yeah, not sure what. How can you tell what pitch is thrown for me? Well, for me, it's the break. I mean, that's the deal. I can tell when a right-hander's out there. If it turns left, slider goes down. It's a two-seam curveball, fastball off velocity. Whether it sinks and runs or if it stays straight, typically the four-seamer is going to be a little harder than a two-seam fastball on most guys. That's how I tell. And the other thing is, while you're sitting at home without a runner at second, we'll try to do this for you here in just a few minutes, but hopefully not too quick, because that means Holliday be off second. But you can also look in at catcher's signs. And you can see one being a fastball, one wiggle in a circle is going to be for the sinker, 2 curve, 3 slider, and wiggle for a change. All 4 fingers down.
Every once in a while, whoever asked that question, you can get fooled. I'll tell you, Jorge De La Rosa, his split finger and his slider both move in a similar direction down and across into a right-handed batter.
Yeah,
and that can be tough to determine sometimes. Hey, was that his slider or was that the splitter?
That's where you go to velocity and check it. His slider is going to be 82, 85. The split 79, 83. Or you go to the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mode and you look on there and you can see the finger split. That's the other way you can check it.
2-2 on David Freese. What's the significance of a bat with a concave end? And that just helps lighten the overall weight.
Yeah, it's all about weighted. They cup the end of those bats to create the proper weight of what guys want. But they want to keep the bat solid all the way through the end.
Most players, used to be a wide disparity, most players will use either 34-inch 31.5-ounce bat or 32-ounce bat, 34, 32. Occasionally you'll see 34.5, 32.5, 35, 33 is looked upon as really a large bat in today's game. Once in a while you may see a 33, 33.5-inch bat, usually with a contact type hitter. Didn't Tony Gwynn, George, sometimes use a 32-inch bat?
Well, yeah, but he stood right on top of home plate too. Kirby Puckett used a 36, 36. He used a big lumper. That was a strong man. Had forearms like a lumberjack.
Swung on and missed. Chatwood gets the strikeout of Freese. 2 outs with Holiday still at second. And that's the first strikeout of the night for Tyler Chatwood.
Yeah, right when you needed it too. Runner in scoring position, outside corner. Freese 248 average with runners in scoring position. The lowest among the Cardinals with at least 100 at bats.
Here's Yadier Molina. Doubled to right his last time up. Also a ground ball to short. .93-mile-an-hour fastball is fouled off. Molina hitting .317 coming in. Last year he hit .315. The year before he hit .305. Back in 08 he hit .304. But you go back to 2006, second full year in the big leagues, he hit just .216. First full year he hit .252. He's got better and better and better with the bat. And this ball is hit really well right center field, and it is off the base of the wall. And Molina digging towards second again. He's going to be out though. This time the Rockies get the call at second, but Molina has just made it a 4-2 game, and he has his 69th RBI of the year. 2 great throws by Kadire in the inning. their lineup against Adam Wainwright. AT&T trivia question. Two players who've played 100-plus games at Coors Field have a higher batting average at Coors than Matt Holliday. Larry Walker, all-time 381. He was pretty good, as I recall. Jeff Cirillo, 378. Dante's fourth. Jay Payton, fifth. For that year, Jay Payton, George, hit 29 home runs for the Rockies. And everybody said, oh, well, Coors Field. 15 of those 29 were out on the road. Remember that?
Absolutely, I do. Saw Jay this spring working a lot of games now on the college network for Fox doing college baseball. He was doing some games up at the University of Oklahoma. So was Preston Wilson.
And Preston's doing stuff for the Miami Marlins on television. 2 balls and a strike. DJ too good at bats. He had the double to deep left center and then semi-robbed of a single or double down the right field line. Great running catch by Shane Robinson. Effective use of that curveball again by Wainwright. Any count, it'll show up. And usually, George, it's not a pitch that is utilized a great deal at Coors Field, especially when you have a visiting pitcher come in. And he goes fastball, and he can do that. You know, he'll work 89, 90, sink it, and then all of a sudden he'll flash 93.
The good thing about him is more than anything else is he's not scared to throw that pitch at any count. You mentioned that earlier. You see this. Pitchers with 200-plus innings this year, strikeouts in a sub-3 ERA. Lee, Kershaw, Wainwright, and Max Scherzer, the only one out of that group not going to the playoffs. Cliff Lee. Tulowitzki solved the puzzle. Single to right, drove in 2 in the first, and then a single in his next at bat. Here he pulls a curveball foul.
One strike on Tulowitzki. 0-2. Ball to first. Adams has to retreat to get a decent hop. Then he flips to Wainwright. George, remember Vladimir Valentine?
Yes.
Big, strong guy.
Yep.
Well,
set some records here lately.
Yeah, not much of a career in the big leagues, or a real memorable career. I say that respectfully. But he's gone over to Japan. He plays for the Yakult Swallows. And the other day he hit his 56th home run, which breaks the Japanese single-season home run record held by Sadahara Oh, who is the Babe Ruth of Japanese baseball. I'm sure he was tasting a little sake after the ball game.
When I talked to Bavasi about it, Bill Bavasi, who he played for, said time just ran out on him. He got to be an older prospect and had some power at the minor leagues, didn't get the opportunity at the big league level. And so he came over, went over there, and he's had a great career in 170 games. In the big leagues, he only hit 15 home runs. But Bavasi, it's kind of one of those deals. It just, they tried him with a couple of different ball clubs. He did not make it. And so went to Japan, made a heck of a name for himself over there.
Two strikes on Kadire, 1 for 2 tonight. Thought he hit the ball out or had a chance to. His last time up to the wall in right, and this time Wainwright gets him with another curveball. That's 7 strikeouts for Wainwright. What Walt Weiss was concerned about is happening. He's getting locked in. 4-2 St. Louis. Cardinals leading this thing 4-2. The Rockies got off to a fast start. They had 4 straight hits against Adam Wainwright. Tulo's 2-run single gave the Rockies the quick jump, but then methodically the Cardinals have come back, and Wainwright's been involved twice. That's a double to drive in a run. And he had another base hit to drive in a run, and St. Louis is ahead 4-2. Cooney Lexus look back. Brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has a new address, now open in Greenwood Village. In Bellevue and Quebec. Chatwood to Matt Adams on the ground to Todd Helton. And if you want to get on base, not a real good place to hit the baseball.
Nope.
Never has been.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me say it, George.
All right, go ahead.
Never has been. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Never has been.
You were like old husband and wife saying the same thing at the same time.
Edith and Wally. Wasn't that what it was? What was it? Is that right?
I don't know. You're much older than me.
I know.
Shane Robinson has twice hit the ball on the left side. Chatwood with his 78th pitch hits the strike zone. Doing a little math, George, and
That's scary.
yeah. So what's today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got an off day. I'm trying to think if Chatwood will face. Well, here's the good thing. He's going to face either Boston or LA. And as he finishes the season, good to finish the season, I think, with the challenge of facing a couple of real good lineups.
Well, sure it is. And both of those ball clubs, Boston, you know, they want to continue to have the home field advantage, what they've got going in the American League, and LA trying to do the same thing. So it's kind of good things going everywhere there.
The Dodgers, who really have been record-wise average the last couple of weeks, they got Matt Kemp rolling again last night. He had 4 hits, 2 doubles, 2 singles. They can clinch the division tonight with a win. They're just underway down in Phoenix against the D-backs, no score.
Kershaw's on the mound for them. I like their chances.
Well, basically what it means is it's going to be 2-1 somebody, because they always take the night off offensively when Kershaw's out there. 0-1 on Daniel Descalso, a double and an intentional walk. One more note on Vladimir Valentin. You may be wondering, man, he had 56 home runs in Japan. Why doesn't he come back to the States? Well, he signed through 2015.
Getting a lot of money.
Michael Kadire coming fast, laying out. He's got the baseball. Great play by Michael Kadire. And it turns into a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th for Tyler Chatwood. He's got one gear. It's all out. 4th inning. Rockies trying to get things going again against Adam Wainwright. Well, this will be a topic of conversation through the end of the season, and then it'll probably be revisited again in 5 years when Todd becomes eligible for Cooperstown. Here are the last 10 Major League first basemen elected to Cooperstown. Steady Eddie Murray. Dougie's have fixed a nickname for each guy, say Rod Carew. Maybe Rod of the Thousand Stances Carew. Tony Perez, the Baby Bull, Orlando Cepeda, Willie McCovey, Harmon Killer Killebrew, Johnny Mize, Mr. Cub, Jim Bottomley, and George High Pockets Kelly. And we're going to give you some more information with that group as to where Todd Helton falls in a number of major categories. But first, Todd at the plate, and he takes strike one.
For all the ones that count average, the average second. Look at these numbers, folks. The last 10 first basemen to go in and where he is. Best fielding first baseman of the last 10 to go in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he's got 586 doubles. That's the most. And I'll tell you something else. In the modern era, Todd has more doubles per games played. He's averaged a double every a little more than 3.8 games played in his career. All time at second to Tris Speaker, who had a double in every 3.6 games. So when you start looking at that and where he ranks, and he's at the top in many categories, the middle in some. And this is going to be another double. Right center field gap. Here's Todd going to his familiar spot at second base. Move up that list one more notch. Crowd loves it.
Well, the banner's up. The girls are twirling. That's right. Todd Helton, another double. Wow. After curveball away for a strike, Wainwright comes in with a off-speed pitch down and away to Helton on his Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, trying to spin it away from him. Todd just went down and got it. Great at bat for Todd Helton as a whole. The family, high school coaches, everybody watching here at Coors Field as Todd adds to the totals.
And every baseball now that is a hit for Helton will come out of the ball game and go into Todd's personal collection.
This is one thing I want to bring up too. You're talking about when you're named with somebody like just Trish Speaker. How about this? The only players in the history of the game, nearly 18,000 of them played the game. 300 average, 350 home runs, 550 doubles. Todd Helton, Hank Aaron, and Stan Musial. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on, and baseball is so much about numbers. This ball line, but it's right at Matt Adams. George Pacheco has done that twice. You're right. Josh Rutledge will be coming up. George, we were talking about this on the radio show today. Sometimes, and maybe a lot of times, we have to remove ourselves as baseball fans and evaluators from the numbers for a moment and just think about the eyeball test. You watched him for 17 years.
Yeah, I mean,
is he a Hall of Famer? I mean, for me, he is.
Yeah, I have no doubt that he is. And the people that if I've heard in recent days, Tom Verducci, let's send him this one. Send him this over to him. Let him read this graphic for you, Doug, that you worked so hard on.
Yeah,
read what you're seeing here on the doubles and home runs and RBIs, because that show and that man will influence other voters.
Yeah, and just move sometimes past all the numbers. The numbers support his strong candidacy. But, you know, in other sports, yeah, Jordan averaged 30-plus points a game and that sort of thing. But still, there's an eyeball test. In football, there's an eyeball test. And I don't know why it's not applied more in baseball beyond all of the numbers that sometimes just fixate people. Rutledge slices this into the crowd. 1-2. That was such a pure double, man. It just split the gap. And there are a couple other numbers out there. You know, Todd's eclipsed 2,500 hits, and that was the big one left. He could get to 590 doubles, but very close to 1,400 ribbies, 3 away, and 1,400 runs scored. If Rutledge throws out a hit, we'll get there here. That's a fair ball. Great play by Freese. 2 outs.
Had a really nice play because he's got to backhand the ball, deal with third base, and you got speed at the plate in Rutledge. Really, I gathered himself really balanced before he tried to pick the baseball, so he'd have everything in place to make that throw. Josh Outman's down there throwing right now. If Blackman could get on, otherwise Chatwood would go out, I would think, for the 7th inning.
Want to know on Blackman. Well, we thank you for texting your questions to Toyota Talk. Visit the Root Sports Facebook page, facebook.com/RootSportsRM, where our Hall of Famer Tracy Ringlesby will answer another question before the conclusion of the game. Josh Outman getting ready, just in case.
So you look at breaking ball and you got a fastball up and you started to swing, then you try to stop it and get it going again. It's kind of an emergency hack. Didn't really go at this with a lot of conviction because of where the ball was thrown. Got it above the hands and in.
Down the line, fair ball. Helton around third. Stu Cole's going to send him. Holiday's throw to the plate. Not going to get him. Blackman to second, and it's a 1-run game.
RBIs now for Charlie Blackman hitting in the 8-hole. With those guys in front of him, when they're all healthy, there's not a lot of guys left on base for Charlie to knock in. He knocks Todd in after the double. Sliced this curveball right down the third base line out of the reach of Freese. Holiday got to the ball in a hurry, released the baseball, but not on line. The Rockies will try to tie this thing up with one swing. Wheeler will come to the plate and pinch hit.
That was Todd's 1,395th run scored. So he's 5 away there, and he's 3 away in ribbies from 1,400. Chance to tie it for Ryan Wheeler. To left field, Holiday will make the catch. But Helton doubled leading off the inning. Charlie Blackman delivers them. It's a 4-3 game as we go to the 7th.
1. It is now 4-3 as the Cardinals come to bat here with a 1-1 lead. Let's get you tonight's Frost Brewed Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. This has to do with Matt Carpenter and the seasons he's having. We've been talking about Todd Helton and his career. Well, how about this season for Carpenter? When you're talking about the greatest increase in hits from one season to the next, looking at active players, he's number 1. He's increased his hits by 102 from last year when he had 87. When you look at that all time, and he's got a shot, guys, seriously, at 200 hits this year. If he can get to 200 hits, that would be the best increase, 8th all time in the history of the game. Willie Wilson did some crazy amount, like 142 between 78 and 79. But that's the kind of season that Matt Carpenter's been having. I was talking to Michael Kadire before the game, telling him about some of these numbers, and he's like, that guy has got to be in the MVP talk. And I think rightly so, especially with the Cardinals winning. He's hitting leadoff, and like you said last night, Drew, he didn't even play second base. He played a couple of games last year, and then Jose Oquendo gave him some schooling. And this year, here he is starting at second and doing the job at the top of the order.
Yeah, no games in the minor leagues at second base. So it's a great story, and we have a story we'd rather not be telling right now. Evidently, Michael Kadire hurt himself, I'm guessing, on that diving catch because he's out of the ball game. Blackman has slid to right. Dickerson has slid to center. And Charlie Culberson is in the ball game in left field. Josh Outman's on the hill. Adam Wainwright is going to lead things off in the top of the 7th inning. And this is pulled through the hole. Adam Wainwright's got a 3-hit ball game. He's hitting $1.56 coming in.
Not anymore. It's up to 194. Still coming up with 3 base hits right now. Here's the numbers on Outman on the season. 3-0 record, 51 in the 3rd innings so far. 421 earned run average with a 140 whip. So Outman let that leadoff single to Wainwright and try to calm it down with everybody. The 2 left-handers coming up. They got the right-hander warming up down in the bullpen. Whoop, Lopez.
Matt Carpenter, we were just discussing, Mark had a nice piece on how much he's improved from last year. And I said this earlier, Matt Carpenter, I agree with you, Mark. He's an MVP candidate in the National League and a strong one. And if you took a vote among the players, coaches, media who follow the Cardinals, you probably have a split between Carpenter and Yadier Molina, who the team MVP is.
A little shocker here. 3rd career 3-hit game.
Well, good athlete has pitched for a while now.
3rd career 3-hit game. 3rd this year. Twice he's done it this year, Drew. Twice this year.
Why do you have to pick tonight?
I don't know, but he did.
0-2 on Carpenter. It was 1 for 3. Good job by Pacheco. You know, there are many times when Pacheco catches, and he hasn't caught a lot, that I have to remind myself he's back there, and that's a good thing. You just don't notice him. He's quiet behind the plate,
very
receives
quiet,
the ball
easy.
well.
Yeah. See, that time Pacheco put his glove up. I like to watch the catcher, and a lot of times he wanted an elevated fastball. He put the glove up, shook off, went back, and said, you know, break a ball. But they shook to it.
That's a deke sometimes too.
They call fastball away, looking in and looking at the signals for Jordan Pacheco. He shook to get to the slider after they given him the fastball.
Bluffed off the inside corner.
Josh Outman, a new daddy, thought that was pretty close. 3-2 count now on the left-hander.
Carpenter's hitting 285 left on left. That's better than respectable. And it misses ball 4. So now Wainwright goes to second. 2 on, nobody out. Rockies just busted their butts to get within a run. And Outman now has some traffic with John Jay coming up. Bunt by Jay. Oh man, Jordan Pacheco gets the force on Wainwright. Fired out of the chute, knew who was running. Great play by Pacheco to get the force.
Yeah, you're not kidding, guy right out front, off balance throw, but on the money. They get Wainwright only because this wasn't bunted hard enough out on the slider. Killed it, but killed it too much. Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl, then a snag over to third base to an outstretched DJ LeMahieu. And Walt will now go down to the bullpen and bring in the right-hander Lopez to face Matt Holliday.
Four 3 Cardinals. Up, Wilton Lopez is now on the bump to face him. Holliday 2 for 2 of the bomb against Outman, 0 for 5 against Lopez.
Yeah, right now all he's thinking about is double play. Get a ball on the ground, try to flip it. Matt Holliday on the year has hit into 30 double plays.
That's the most in the league.
Well, obviously trying to get it done here. Make a mistake up out over the plate. It's going to hurt you. Try to work that hard sinker. Not sure why more teams don't start Holliday out with sliders and then go fastballs instead of fastball to get ahead and then show a bunch of sliders. But they do. You know, he seems to come up with some pretty big base hits.
Plus, you have to more than visit inside, George. You got to go in there a bunch with Matt.
Well, you got to do it with a lot of guys that are power hitters. You got to make them aware of the ball inside. They're trying to extend, get the bat out over the zone and extend it where they can drive the baseball. Most power hitters have a longer swing, so they want to get their arms extended on the baseball.
Lopez goes
nice
slider
pitch
away.
right there.
1-1. Now, Matt Holliday the last couple of years had better first halves and second half. This year He had a respectable first half. He's had a real good second half at 328. At the end of the year, when you add it up, he's going to have his numbers. He always does.
Played as long as he has. Just look at the back of the bubblegum card. He'll be there.
Fouled off. I just have always admired not only his talent, that's obvious, but a couple of things. His work ethic is tremendous. And more importantly, you won't meet a better guy than Matt Holliday. He's first class all the way.
And people always ask, what's his hobby? And I go hitting and hanging sliders. I mean, you know, he doesn't have any. He doesn't like to fish. He doesn't like to hunt. He doesn't golf.
Well, his other hobby, and the way it should be, is his wife Leslie now has 4 kids. Mentioned last night he had little baby Reed, who's 7 weeks old.
Very dedicated to the family.
Usually when you're in St. Louis, the older boys are running around the ballpark. Out on the field, shagging, hitting in the cage. Here's the 1-2. And Holliday hits this to deep center field, going back and making the catch is Dickerson. You know, he one-handed that thing about 405 feet.
Yes, he did.
He was out front, and he still almost left the ballpark.
That tells you a lot about his strength and what he's able to do. Celebration of the Rockies' 20th anniversary. Come to the ballpark September 21st through the 25th. Enjoy rollback pricing on select locations for those ball games.
Two outs. David Freese with runners at first and third as Carpenter moved up 90 feet. Freese 0 for 3 tonight. Lopez zips the fastball off the corner. It's ball 1. Well, Arizona's taking an early lead on Kershaw 2-0. Houston's caught Cincinnati in the 7th. It's 4-4 down at Minute Maid.
As they have tried to use different people now at the back end of their bullpen. Josh Fields, hard throwing right-hander they took out of the Rule 5 draft, has started to close for them. Another guy they got in the Philadelphia trade, Josh Side, is another one that they're using on the back end of that bullpen. That's the one weakness they've had all year is the bullpen. Fife is pitching now, talking about the Houston Astros.
You know what? Let me correct something. Kershaw got pushed to Saturday.
Now his number was on the board out here, 22. That's why I said Kershaw was pitching.
That's what I was looking at too. Stephen Fife is throwing.
Up and down, right-hander's been up there. Kershaw was supposed to go tonight, I guess. Apparently pushed him on back.
Top to third. Good job of pitching by Lopez. He gets Holliday on the deep fly and Freese to ground out. It remains 4-3 stretch time at Coors Field. Root Sports is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat, energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. By Dodge, visit Dodge.com, your local Dodge dealer today. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Cardinals 4, Rockies 3. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Rockies will have the top of the order. Brock Peterson has come in at first base for Matt Adams. Adam Wainwright. This is ball 1 to Dickerson. Dickerson's 1 for 3 tonight. When he leads off an inning, Dickerson hitting .348. Rockies have 9 hits tonight off of Wainwright. Only 3 times this year has he allowed more than 9 in a game. Opening day in Arizona, he allowed 11 in 6 innings. He allowed 11 to Milwaukee at Miller Park in May, and 12 against the Royals on the road in 8 innings. His last 2 starts, he'd only given up a combined 8 hits.
And what's happened so far in this game, we talked about the high average in the first inning against Wainwright, .315. The league had hit .235 the rest of the way. Tonight, the Rockies .667 in the first inning. Now 5 for 21, .238.
This ball ripped to right, but he hit it too well. Stayed in the air, and Shane Robinson makes the catch. A loud first out in the 7th. What happened to Adams, why he had to leave the game.
What happened? He hyperextended an elbow?
No, he's just carrying that right arm. So a recent call up, Brock Peterson is in the game, and this is hit on the ground to second by LeMahieu. .103 pitches in for Wainwright. Time for a Coors Light freeze can. This was a great catch by Michael Kadire, but he may have gotten shaken up. I mean, he looked fine. He jogged off the field, but the next inning he was replaced by Charlie Culberson. Coors Light freeze can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Yeah, I didn't see anything there at all.
High fly ball to Robinson off the bat of Tulowitzki. And Wainwright works a quick 1-2-3 7th. 4-3 St. Louis.
Look at the Wednesday night crowd here at Coors Field as we go to the 8th. Cardinals with a 4-3 lead earlier today at the ballpark. And I know it's a Wednesday. This kind of seems strange. Off day for the Broncos because they play Monday Night Football coming up against the Raiders. And a couple of the Broncos made a visit and took some BP. Duke Iheanacho, the safety, and Omar Bolden got into the cage, took some swings. Easier said than done. They're both from Southern California, and Dexter was there, and so was Charlie Culberson. Actually, Drew, they said, is that McCutcheon up? Because Bolden had a couple of singles up the middle, but they didn't hit a lot of balls on the button. But they did have some fun coming down here to Coors Field and take a little BP. They told me they didn't really play baseball much past Little League, if that, but some fun with the guys from the Broncos.
You know what? Listen, it's okay. They can stick with what they're doing because they're doing it really well right now.
Yeah, everybody over there.
Duke Iheanacho may not be able to hit a baseball real well, but he will hit you if you have the football. And Omar Bolden's had a nice conversion to safety. Terrific young special teams player out of Arizona State.
Adam Ottavino into the ball game against his former ball club, the St. Louis Cardinals. He was the #1 pick by the St. Louis Cardinals.
And after the game yesterday, he was down visiting with some of his old teammates. And misses 2-0 on the guy he used to throw to, Yadier Molina. Single and a double tonight, 3 at bats for Molina.
Well, look at that record.
They don't cough many up, though I will tell you this. The last couple of nights, George, they've used Segrist, the left-hander who they love.
Inning in the third. Inning in 2/3.
And 2 nights ago, they used Trevor Rosenthal, and he gave up 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning. And Edward Mejica's been kind of shaky lately.
Well, the thing about, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of in your favor of doing some things, but the thing about the Cardinals and their bullpen of Matheny and La Russa ran it the same way. You might have thrown an inning in third tonight, but I need to win tonight. You're going to pitch tonight. Can you tell me you can't pitch? You don't pitch. In other words, they don't give a lot of guys off, but they've been a little shaky in this ballpark. Well, we're used to watching a lot of guys. If they go back-to-back nights, they get a night off. Matheny does things a little bit differently. It's with Littlequist too. Kind of old school out of that bullpen.
Now, the pen's not been great in September, as I was alluding to, and there it is graphically for you. Of course, Jason Mott got hurt and was done in January.
Boy, that hurt him too.
That's shoulder surgery. And then Mitchell Boggs. This ball's line foul, who was great last year as a setup man. Started the season okay, and then really struggled to the point that he was designated for assignment. The Rockies picked him up. Actually, let me correct that. It wasn't shoulder surgery. It was Tommy John surgery for Mott. And that's strike 3. Matt Adams had to leave, we're now told, with right elbow soreness. Still awaiting word on why Kadire left. What's next is brought to you by CenturyLink. No television tomorrow afternoon in the series and season finale against the Cardinals. The Diamondbacks are in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll have those 3 for you. Monday's an off day. The 2 against the Red Sox. And, of course, the 25th, a very special day, as it'll be Todd Helton's final home game. And then the Rockies will finish in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Helton tonight, if you're just joining us, his last time up, ripped a double to right center. He'll be up again in the 8th. 0-1 right on the corner, 0-2.
Well, Rosenthal's warming up down in their bullpen right now.
And Shane Robinson is gone. So a strong inning from Adam Ottavino. A couple of punch outs. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Rockies down just a run. be first, and Todd Helton and Jordan Pacheco. Root Sports, your home for Mountain West football this season. Visit our website at rootsports.com to see our 2013 Mountain West Conference football schedule. It is still the 6'7" right-hander.
104th pitch for him to throw in the ball game. Talking about Molina and what he means to this ball club. He's won 5 Gold Gloves, the most being a catcher Pudge with 13, Bench 10, Boone 7, Jim Sundberg 6, Molina 5, Bill Freehand 5. Everybody retired and out of the game except that man.
1 ball, 1 strike on Culberson in the ball game because Michael Kadire had to leave, and we're being told now it's a right elbow contusion.
I think it was more on the right forearm, but I don't see it there. I don't see it unless it's right there.
Something tells me they meant left. Two count. Wainwright out of Brunswick, Georgia, former #1 pick of the Atlanta Braves. Boy, Atlanta never. If you're in Georgia growing up, they find you. And Molina goes to Peterson for the first out.
Great story. Danny Montgomery and Bill Schmidt were in a Marriott in Atlanta, and Wainwright wasn't on their high depth charts at the time. And they kept hearing this other group of scouts talking about Wainwright. That was one Danny Montgomery admits now. He said, you know, you look back at the ones you missed on or the ones that you didn't get to see or cross-check at the time. Adam Wainwright.
Somebody
you got a little Tennessee out here.
Yeah, that's Todd's old jersey number. Strike 1 on Help. Two strikes. Here's the double that split the gap in right center field.
It was off speed, but it was away from him. Todd just yanked it into right center field and was off to the races. Walks into second base with a double. Came around to score the 3rd run of the ball game.
Toward the hole, Peterson comes up with it, and he flips to Wainwright to get the out.
Peterson thought there was 3 outs. He was headed to the dugout.
Jordan Pacheco coming up. Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 in a game, text the word taco to 720-720. Pacheco has lined out to first twice, also hit a ground ball to third. Wainwright's a horse, man.
It's amazing. 113 pitches, 200 right now. Looking at this, a little arithmetic, 228, 229 in the 3rd innings right now.
Pulled finally, an opening for Pacheco, and he's taking a wide turn. He's going to shut it down as Holiday able to get it back in. Jordan did it right, man. A hard turn. He was hoping to get in the scoring position with 2 outs.
Now Rosenthal's up throwing. Brothers on the left side for the Rockies. Breaking ball. Good pitch by Wainwright, but a better job of swinging the bat by Jordan Pacheco. That line drive base hit, thinking about 2. Better whoop, better not. Holiday got to it in a hurry, made a strong throw into second.
Josh Rutledge, couple of strikeouts and a ground ball to third. Wainwright in his last start, 8 innings of 1-run baseball against Seattle through 114 pitches. Through 128 last month in a complete game win over Atlanta. 1-1. To 122 pitches. A 7-inning victory against the Pirates.
Saturday is Peak Day at Coors Field, brought to you by the State of Colorado Department of Health and Care Policy. Come to the ballpark to find out a whole lot more. Come out to the ballpark on Saturday. It is Peak Day at Coors Field. All that brought to you by the Colorado Department of Health Care Policy.
Trevor Rosenthal. Two-two. And it's off the plate, 3-2.
Yeah, Wainwright signed one of the largest contracts for a pitcher in Cardinal history.
They went out 5 years on him.
He's earning it. I'll tell you that right now. 2018.
Pacheco off with the pitch. And it's lifted out of play, foul. Three 0 Arizona now over Fife and the Dodgers in the third inning. High, ball 4, and now the Rockies have the tying run at second with Charlie Blackmon coming up, and you wonder if Mike Matheny thinks that's the end of the line with the walk. And here he comes. ...121 pitches in. Wainwright goes 7 2/3.
A lot of Cardinal fans here.
Yep, there always seems to be. They're all standing.
the ball game. Although they've got a good one down there, a left-hander other than Seacrest. They got Schote down there too that does a good job coming out of their bullpen. But Rosenthal is their future closer. He is their 8th inning man. 70 innings pitched, 28 holes, which is near the top of the National League. 2.70 earned run average the other night. Drew mentioned it. He got dusted here in this ballpark. In the first ball game, he came in relief, and the results were not pretty.
Blackman knocked him out of there eventually with a double that drove in a run. It was in the 8th inning 2 days ago. See if he can duplicate that. In that Diamondback lead over the Dodgers. By the way, Goldschmidt has hit his 34th home run. And a bouncing ball gloved by Peterson, and Rosenthal got his spikes down in front of Blackman. So the Rockies leave 2 on. They trail as we go to the 9th inning, 4-3. Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. 9th inning at Coors Field. Rockies had a 2-0 lead at the end of 1. They find themselves down 4-3. Let's go to center field. Check in with Jenny. Jenny?
Hey, Drew. Well, coming up on the Toyota postgame show, we hope to talk about a Colorado victory. In the meantime, we got to discuss he's got the right stuff. Adam Wainwright, he may have 8 strikeouts tonight, but seriously, he can hit too. A 3-for-3 performance at the plate that included 2 RBIs for him. And make it a double. Todd Helton, he does vintage Todd Helton tonight. And what a double it was. Keeps climbing up on that chart, guys. It's been fun to watch Todd, and it will be for the rest of the homestand. And, of course, we'll get you inside the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the Toyota postgame show.
All right, Jenny, we appreciate it. In the top of the 9th, Descalso is going to face Rex Brothers to begin things. So Rex is on board, trying to get the Rockies quickly back on offense. 68th appearance for Brothers. 17 saves. Checo going out. Review of signs and sequence. Cardinals leading the National League Central. They have a chance to go up by 2 games because the Padres came from a run down in the 9th inning and rallied for 2 with 2 outs to beat the Pirates. 3rd straight victory for San Diego at PNC Park. Cardinals last year were a wild card team, and they got to the NLCS, lost in 6 games to the Giants. Descalso hits it in the air. Dickerson. 1 out. Safe Light Auto Glass, the place to go if you have auto glass issues. 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Tony Cruz is going to pinch hit for Rosenthal.
Cruz 205 on the season, a home run, 11 RBIs, 5 for 13 though as a pinch hitter.
Kind of laughing at myself here, George. This isn't a situation with runners in scoring position. There's nobody on base. But guess what he's hit? 360.
I don't want to hear it.
It's everybody, right?
Right. Well, I just read the numbers. 211 on the season. Otherwise, 5 for 13 as a pinch hitter. Pretty good when you're hitting near 500.
Yeah. 27-year-old, Palm Beach, Florida. Saw Edward Mejica a moment ago. Adam Wainwright ends up going 7 2/3, gives up 3 runs on 10 hits. He walked just 1. The final batter he faced, and he struck out 8. Tyler Chatwood went 6 innings, allowed 4 runs on 8 hits. He walked just 1. That was intentional, and he struck out 1. 121 pitches for Wainwright tonight. 89 of the 121 were strikes. 2-2 on Cruz. Got him. Got him on a slider.
Hard slider too. 86 miles an hour. Rex Brothers' last 2 appearances, he has struck out 4 of the 5 batters he faced. Here's that hard slider. Right on a perfect spot on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo outside corner. Brothers sends him back to grab some pine meat.
Edward Mejica, who's going to throw the 9th inning for St. Louis, has given up runs in 3 of his last 5 appearances.
And last outing came against San Diego. He went 1 inning, 2 hits, no walks and a strikeout, no runs in that outing. But those other 3 Drew's talking about, they got after him pretty good. You still have time to pick your player and donate to Hit Count, the charitable campaign from the Rockies and Root Sports. Every Rockies hit in the second half of the season will mean a donation to Children's Hospital Colorado and Special Olympics Colorado. Go to go to Rockies.com/hitcount to donate now.
1-1 on Carpenter. 2-1 on Carpenter. Rockies in the 9th inning will have the pitcher spot, and then Corey Dickerson and DJ LeMahieu. And a base hit. Carpenter with his 3rd hit of the ball game. What a season for Matt Carpenter. Now the Rockies have Dexter Fowler and Johnny Herrera, leadoff type guys, available. For a big swing, you have Rosario. Arenado probably not available. Want to know on John Jay. 1-2. Just missed. Front door slider. 2-2.
Really staying on the hands of him, which now at a 2-2 count, you set your slider up very well.
Let me correct something. I wrote Matt Carpenter's at bat in the 7th as a base hit when he walked. I can't read my own handwriting, which is a possibility. So it's 2 hits and a walk tonight. Swung on and missed. John Jay. He is gone. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Rockies will try to rally against Edward Mujica. So Dexter Fowler will pinch hit and try to reach against Edward Mujica. Some changes defensively. Daniel Descalso moves from short to third. Pete Cosma comes in the game to play shortstop. So David Freese is out of there. And on the hill, the 29-year-old Venezuelan Edward Mujica, originally with Cleveland. Rockies are familiar with him from his time as a setup man with the San Diego Padres. Really has not closed, George, until this year. He had a few saves in the past, but he got 36 this year.
Reminds me of Ryan Franklin, who came over to the San Luis Cardinal organization and became the closer by default. Had 87 in his career, 5th all-time in a Cardinal uniform. So Mujica came over when Mott went down. They tried Boggs. Boggs didn't work. He was sent to the minor leagues, later traded to the Rockies. And Mujica was given the job, and he's 36 of 39. He'll get Dexter Fowler to lead things off here in the 9th inning. 1 to tie it, play extras, 2 to win. Fowler 1 for 10 in his career versus Mujica.
Rockies have 7 walk-off wins this year, but none since June 29th. So none in the second half at all. Fun to see them produce one right here. 4 runs, 10 hits for St. Louis, and an error. 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Rockies. Fouled off.
A lot of pinch hitters know leading off the inning in the 9th. On a closer, you're going to get a fastball 90% of the time, so be ready to fire at that pitch.
Split was down low, 1-1. Dexter pulls it into right field, base hit. question is how much running can he do? He's going to stay out there. He's the tying run, nobody out.
Top of the order, a lot of left-handers now coming. Helton sooner or later will be there. Hopefully, if he is, the game's over. It's 4-4, top of the ninth. Cincinnati has the bases loaded and 2 outs. Ryan Ludwig is the hitter.
Definitely bunt here, George.
Well, you're playing for the tie to get it on in. I don't know why not. That's what Dickerson does. He squares to bunt.
You got a 3-0 count now on Ryan Ludwig. Nowhere to put him. Ball game over. Well, it's not over. Excuse me. It's in Houston.
Feels the closer of late has been in. He can get wild at times. He throws a strike here at 95. A good arm. #1 draft pick by Boston.
1-0 on Corey. He pulls the bat back and takes a hat.
I don't know how many slug bunts he's made, but obviously great hand-eye coordination when you swing at balls and hit it off the bounce.
Good bunt. Dribbled for a second, and Mojica still able to get Dickerson. So Corey gets the sac bunt down. Dexter the tying run at second, and that'll bring up LeMahieu.
Things not going to get any easier now. Put the runner in the scoring position, a chance to tie the game. Bunted hard out in front of the mound. Mojica went to get it, bobbled it. No choice there but first. Give you another look at it here. Just went right under the glove of Mojica. A lot of closers. Some are decent fielders, some average, but a lot of them handle their position very well.
LeMahieu a double back in the first. Hit taken away. Nice running catch by Shane Robinson. Also a strikeout and a ground ball to second. This is hit in the air to shallow right. Robinson closing quickly, makes the catch. You thought for a moment off the bat it had the potential to drop. But Robinson with center field speed playing right field.
Right, here comes the ultimate question. Mike Matheny's going to go to the mound too. Do I walk the All-Star Total Whiskey that drives in a ton of runs? I know it's the winning run. But then I got a young guy sitting in that dugout in the on-deck circle in Culberson.
Yeah, ordinarily you would never do this.
Well, if you read the book right, you wouldn't do it. That's the way you're doing it right by the book. But I mean, you're talking about a guy like Tulowitzki. You're not going to let him beat you. Tulowitzki in his career is just 1 for 8, but that one's a home run. And if he went to the mound and he said, and I've had managers do this and I hate it. If he went to the mound and he said, all right, we're not going to walk him, but I want you to pitch around him. If you make him hit your pitch, 9 out of 10 times you screw up and the guy gets a line drive base hit on a ball in the middle of the plate.
Ball 1. It's like the battle of the bands in the stands tonight. Rockies crowd trying to drown out the Cardinals. 2-0. This looks like a pitch around right now. They're going to stand up and put him on.
They wanted to see if Tulowitzki was going to be aggressive, chase something out of the strike zone. If you're going to do that, go ahead and put him on to begin with.
So they'll put the winning run on in favor of pitching to the far less experienced and credentialed Charlie Culberson.
And the crazy things, you know, things changed a while back. When I go back to when Buck Showalter's walked Barry Bonds with the bases loaded. How about that? To walk in a run. Instead of letting him drive in 3 to beat me, I'll go ahead and walk you, and I'll give up 1.
And you know what? Buck Showalter and the Diamondbacks won that game.
Yes, they did. The next guy hit a line drive to right to end it.
So it'll come down. Unless there's another walk.
Oh, I'd love it if he walked him, Todd came up.
Yeah, that would be special.
You just kind of like it, wouldn't you?
Culberson against Mojica.
Never seen each
Tying
other.
run at second, winning run at first. 4-3 St. Louis, 2 outs in the ninth. Hard on the ground, ricochets off this cow, so Culberson can run. Everybody's safe. It will come down to Todd Helton against Edward Mojica. Could not have written a better script on this final homestand of Helton's grand career.
429 average in his career against Mojica. I like the matchup.
How about the buzz here at 20th and Blake right now? On the corner.
Didn't have to be.
0-1.
Oh, heck, Todd just hit a grand slam. Do it big if you're going to do it, right, Dougie? Huh?
That pitch looked a little off the plate.
Yeah, it was off the plate. White took it.
0-1. Outfield straight up. Moderate depth in left and right. Somewhat shallow in center with John Jett. Bases loaded. Tulowitzki's the winning run at second. Good swing by Helton. Now you're in a split count again, 1-2.
It's funny when you and I talked to him during the interview, which was replayed today, and I said, you know, talking about him being a grinder, a huge grinder. He's grinding right now. He's grinding out a base hit to try to win this ball game for the Rockies.
1-2. Got it. Well, not this time. Edward Mojica strikes out Helton with the bases loaded, and the Cardinals survive 4-3. Edward Mojica gets his 37th save. Adam Wainwright gets his 17th victory of the year. Tyler Chatwood takes the loss. Entertaining to the final pitch, and unfortunately it goes the way of the Cardinals tonight. Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery is brought to you by Jimmy John's. Well, Adam Wainwright threw 121 pitches tonight. He would strike out 8, and though he gave up some hits, he held the Rockies to 3 runs. He also threw out 3 hits of his own and drove in a couple. It's a big night all the way around for the big sturdy right-hander Adam Wainwright. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Again, the final score, the Cardinals win it 4-3 over the Rockies. We invite you to stick around. The Toyota postgame show is next.